What is up, everyone? Welcome to the second episode of the Rust for Beginner series, where we are going to create our own trading engine, our own matching engine. So let's continue where we left off, and basically let's do cargo run real quick. Cargo run, we can add orders, but the problem is that we only handle this bid case. If it's an ask, nothing is going to happen. So we're going to change this. And I think the first thing we're going to do is move this price here, and then we are going to handle the bid or ask case the same thing like above. We're going to say self bids, no, it's going to be asks, get mutable, we're going to say price like this, and to be honest, we can actually copy the whole shebang. It is what it is sometimes. We could maybe handle this a little bit different, but I think this is pretty fine. So the only thing we need to do here is say self asks like this and insert, right? I think that's fine. Let's open up main on the other side, or maybe let's open up main on the left side. Oh, it's all in the same file. We are going to split that out pretty soon. So let's go to the bottom. We are adding orders right here. So what we're going to do is basically create a new order. We're going to say let's sell order. And that's going to be an order new, and we're going to say bid or ask is going to be an ask, and let's say, I don't know, 6 size, 6.5, and then we're going to say order book, add me an order, and it's going to be at price level, I don't know, 20, doesn't really matter, and we're going to say the sell order, right? That's what we're going to do, and then we're going to print out, of course, this is not a float. Yes, that should work. So let's me do cargo run. Right, and we can see we have an ask at this price, and we have orders here, right? And I know it could be in the way of my frame border sometimes. My bad, my bad. All right, so that's been taken care of. The next thing we're going to do is actually split things out, because we are going to make our matching engine structure itself that will actually handle place market orders, place limit orders, so we can fill the orders, right? We're going to fill market orders, we're going to fill limit orders with market orders. That's the goal. So what I'm going to do is create a new folder in source, and it's going to be the matching engine, something like this. Yes, matching engine. We're going to create a new file. It's going to be a mod.rs file. And we are going to create, again, a new file. And it's going to be the order book rs, like this. And then we're going to copy some stuff. So I'm going to copy the whole shebang here. Order, implement order, yes, everything. Paste it here. Maybe we should copy this collection thing also. I'm going to save this. Save the main. Of course, everything is going to break, but we're going to fix this. The first thing we're going to do is open up the mod.rs file, and we're going to say pub mod order book like this. And then we can go to our main and say mod matching engine. And then we could do something like use matching engine and say order book. And then we could say something like, first of all, wait, we have a problem. So we could say order here, but the problem is that order is basically private, right? So in Rust, let's open up order book. You see you have this enum, right? And in order to make this public, we need to say pub, right? So we're going to do this with a couple of things. We're going to say pub order book. Of course, these functions needs to be public. Add order should be public too. The price is going to be a public struct. Pub new price. Do we need it for limit? Maybe. Limit add order. Not quite sure if that needs to be public though. Order needs to be public for sure, and new also. Alright, I think that should be good. So now order is working here. So in Rust you can do this to import multiple things. So we're going to import the order, the bid or ask. We're also going to import the order book. And yeah, that's fine. So now we have a clean working main file. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is create a new file, and that's going to be engine.rs, and we're gonna say here, we're gonna say pub struct, right? Let's make public things for now. We're gonna say pub struct the matching engine, and that's going to be a thing that holds the order books, because we're going to have multiple order books, right? You know, on my channel, we make things like it is. So I will explain why. Because we're going to have multiple markets, right? Multiple trading pairs we can match. So we're going to say that the order books, yes, order books is going to be a hash map of, I would say string, but that's not a good idea. I would say trading pair. A trading pair, and of course order book, like this. The problem is that it's not gonna work, right? And I have no type hinting at all. I don't know why that is, but maybe I should close the file and reopen it, by the way. Let's try that. It's not working. It is what it is. Let's just do it without type hinting then. So we're gonna say first, I think use super. It's gonna be, wait, let me do this and quit this file real quick and open up engine again, and say use super order book. Order book. Is that a thing actually? Not quite sure. Sometimes I think it is. Okay, trading pair. We don't have a trading pair, so we're gonna make pub struct trading pair, and that's going to be, we're gonna have a base. That's going to be a string. Why a string? Because it's going to get owned by the struct. We could also do something like a static str, but a static str is basically has a lifetime for the whole application. For the whole program. Not quite sure if that's needed. So we're going to say base, and we're also going to make a quote, right? So what is a base and what is a quote? I'm going to explain this real quick. So basically we have markets, right? For example, BTC, USD, right? So BTC here, that's going to be the base, and USD is going to be the quote, right? So if we have BTC, USD, we have BTC, that's going to be the base, and USD is going to be the quote, rather, like this, right? And it's basically, the quote is the amount you're gonna sell in return for the base, right? So it's important we have these two thingies. So we're gonna say maybe implement trading pair like this, yeah. Now we're gonna say pub event new, wait, like this, and it's going to return us a trading pair. No type hinting. It is what it is, man. Trading pair, and then we're gonna say give me the base, which is going to be a string, yeah, and give me the quote, which is also going to be a string. And then we're going to say base and quote, right? All right. Cool. And then we're going to say here with matching engine, we're going to implement matching engine, of course. Let me try this. Let me do this real quick. Can I do cargo run? All right, and then I'm gonna say delete, quit this file, open engine again, because something is wrong with the VS Code Rust Analyzer. Implement matching engine. We're gonna say pub event new, which is going to return a matching engine. We're gonna say matching engine like this. We're going to say that the order books is going to be a hash map new, Yes, and then let's open up main. Let's try this to import this. We have matching engine. We could say use matching engine. Actually, we need to do something in mod, right? So we have pub mod order book, but we also need to have a pub mod engine, right? Like this, and then we could say matching engine, and say matching engine. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but hey, it is what it is. We're going to say let engine is going to be a matching engine new, like this, right? Of course, it needs to be mutable, and I will tell you why. Let's open up engine. We don't have this hash map thingy. You see, now it's type hinting, right? That's, I'm not quite sure why it is. Let's open up order book and yoink this real quick, like this. So we're going to make a function, and it's going to be pub. And let me put this thing higher on the screen so it's easier to follow. So we're going to say pub event is going to be add new market, right? Because what's going to happen is we are going to create new markets, right? For example, we want to have an order book for BTC USD, and maybe for ETH USD, whatever. It does not need to be crypto. It can be whatever. It can be literally whatever you want. You are the Bob Ross, like I tell you. You are the Bob Ross of your painting. Add new market. That's going to be a self, yeah, like this. And we're going to say, give me the pair, which is going to be a trading pair. And also, I think that's enough. And I think we don't need to return anything. So we're going to say, self order books insert pair, yeah, and then we're going to say order book, and we're going to say new. We're going to add a new pair. And I think this insert thingy has a problem, and that's maybe because this needs to be mutable. Not what's going on here. Oh yeah, I see what's going on. I don't think it's need to be mutable. Maybe it is. We will see. But the problem resides in the fact we have this trading pair here. And I think we should actually move this to order book. But hey, the problem with this trading pair is it's going to sit in a hash map, right? And in the previous episode, I already mentioned that if you want to have something in your hash map, it needs to satisfy some threads, some things. So we're going to say in order book, actually, I think we're going to, it's okay. We will see. We're going to yoink this thingy and paste it in here and copy. We don't need this thing. So right now, this should actually work. And I think now it's going to complain. Yeah, it's because it's not mutable. That's what I thought, right? So we're going to say unmutable self, right? Why does it need to be mutable? Well, because we are updating, right? We are updating our own state. And if we want to update our own state, we are actually need to be mutable because we're going to mutate, right? It's actually very simple. And like I mentioned, sometimes I make mistakes too. But then you just read the compiler messages and yeah. Man, I have a little bit of a cold. I'm sorry. So add new market. Maybe we should do a print line here real quick. Let's do this. We're going to say opening new order book. Opening a new order book for market. And then we can say this. We could do this with this debug line, with this debug format, and say the pair, right? A couple things will happen, right? This pair is getting moved, right? So what we do here is basically we insert the pair, right? So we take ownership and then we move it again here. That's a problem. So what we could do is basically say clone, right? And it doesn't matter. You can say clone and it's all good. Yes, so right now we go to main. Let's open up main here. And on the other side, we're going to open up our engine. So we can follow along. So we have this engine. Let's delete this order book. Let's comment this out for now. We're going to say let pair equals trading pair, new. And don't we have this matching engine? You could say trading pair, hop, hop. And then we're gonna say, I wanna make a pair, let's say the base is gonna be BTC. We got to call toString on this, I guess. And also USD or USDC, whatever. toString, right? Like this, hop. And then we're gonna say it's trading pair, like this. And then we're gonna say engine, add new market, right? And we're gonna add this pair. All right. And of course, we need to have let mutable engine, right? Mutable engine. We're gonna say cargo run. And we see these things, prices never read and all that stuff, I know. It is what it is. We don't use it yet, but it is what it is. So you can see we are opening a new order book for the market. And we say here it's a trading pair, the base is BTC and the code is USD, right? So what we could do to make this a little bit better is to say something like implement trading pair and say pub event. Maybe we could do something like a toString method. And if you really want to be advanced, we could do an into or a format, implement the thread display, but that's for later on. Let's not go too in depth, right? Because we are going to keep things simple, and then we are going to add new stuff as we learn more Rust, right? That's the goal. So we're going to say pub toString. It's going to be a self, and we're going to return a string like this. And we're going to say, we could do something nice. We have this format macro, and we can say, yo, give me the base and give me the quote, which is this nice emote. And then we're going to say self base and self quote like this. Do we need to? I don't think so. It's a format, right? So then we can say here in our engine, I'm going to make this a little bit higher so I don't make the same mistake putting it in front of my camera. So we're going to say pair, and we can call toString on this thing. And if we then do cargo run, then we can see opening new order book for the market BTC USD. That makes more sense. It's a little bit better to read. Okay. The next thing we need to do is I'm thinking to move this trading pair to order book or something. But yeah, it is what it is. We will see. We will see. Let's open up main. I always recommend to use two screens at all times, because then you can jiggle around, right? You need to, it's needed. It's your bread and butter as a software engineer. So the next thing we're going to do is say pub event. We're going to say place market. Let's say place limit. Place limit order. And we are going to say it's going to be a mutable self. We're going to say, hey, place me a limit order at for a pair, right? For a particular market, right? Should we call this market or pair? Pair is fine. So that's going to be a trading pair, right? And then give me the price, right? That's going to be F64, and then an order, right? That's going to be an order. And what we also could do is make a structure specific for placing a limit order. For example, place limit order params. That could be a nice structure that encapsulates everything. But hey, like I said, we will see. And we are going to do something extra here, but I'm going to teach you. And that's basically, we're going to return a result. And that's going to be a result of nothing. Or maybe something, I don't know, we should see, but for now nothing, and we're gonna return a string here, right? And then we're gonna say a couple things. The first thing we're gonna do if we wanna place a limit order is to see if we actually have this market, right? Do we have this trading pair? Is it already opened? So we could do something like match self order books, get mutable, the pair. We're gonna get the pair, and then we're gonna say case some order book, right? We're gonna do this, and on the other side we're gonna say case none. If we don't have anything, we're gonna do that, right? And of course, get mute, we need to give this like this, like a reference, or whatever you want to call this. And let's put this a little bit higher, so you don't get a hernia. What is going on with this order? Yes, we don't have order, right? So we're gonna fix this real quick. Order book, and you could say, yo, give me an order, and stop crying, right? So we're gonna say, if we find an order book, if we have that, then we're gonna say something like order book, add order, right? And we're gonna say add an order for the price and for the order, of course, right? It's easy as that. And then we're gonna say okay, right? Because we are returning a result, and we're gonna return two things, right? We're gonna return if it's okay and if it's not okay. In this case, it's okay, right? So we're gonna say okay, and we're gonna make this empty. If we want to return, for example, a boolean or something, then we can say okay, true, right? But in this case, we return nothing. And then in case none, we are gonna say we could do something like return an error, and it could be format, for example, and we can say the order book for the given trading pair does not exist. So we could do the order book for the given trading pair here, and then we can say something, what's going on? I'm making some mistakes, my bad. For the given trading pair, and then we could say something like this, and open up our format here. Wait, because it's basically formatting things for me, and I don't like this. And then we're gonna say the pair. The pair, and then we're gonna call toString on this, like this. Yes. All right, so what do we do here? So basically, we're gonna place a limit order. So we're gonna give it, I wanna place a limit order in the BTC USD market, for example. It needs to sit at price level, I don't know, 50K, I don't know, I'm not a maximalist. And this is the order, right? If it's a bid or an ask, we don't care. It's a limit order, and it's basically the order book, the underlying order book we fetched will handle the logic for that, right? Yes, and if the market exists, then it's all good. And if we're gonna return nothing actually, and if the market does not exist, then we're gonna return, the order book for the given trading pair does not exist. All right, so we're gonna test this real quick. And now we are testing everything into our main function, but we are also going to make our own tests, of course. But for now, we're going to add our architecture first, right? And once we have some good idea of how things are going to being laid out, then we're going to make some tests so we can do our refactors later on much more easier. Let mutable engine, yes. Adding a new pair, that's pretty good. And then we're gonna say, we're gonna make an order, right? So we're gonna say, let's copy this thing here. We're gonna call this, I don't know, a buy order or something. We're gonna say bit. What's going on here? Yes, this needs to be a mutable engine. This is the buy order. Then we're going to say engine, place, a limit order. We're going to say for the pair here, the price is going to be, I don't know, 10K or something. And then we are going to add the buy order here, right? The buy order we just created with size 6.5. Of course. So the thing is pair. Yeah, of course. Pair is getting moved, right? You see? So we're using pair here and then pair there. So we could do the clone thingy. And clone will just copy things like we know this, right? It will copy your structure into a new memory address, right? So modifying the pair you copied will not affect the other pair, if that makes sense. That's why it's safe, right? That's why Rust is safe, because it does not allow you to do these things. It will warn you. Yes, so basically this will return an option. It will return a result, which will be either some or none, right? Or an error or whatever. And in this case, we could do an unwrap, right? We could do unwrap. And unwrap basically means, hey, I'm not going to match, right? I'm not going to handle these both cases. Just give me, unwrap this for me. And if it's not okay, panic. But if it's okay, return me the value that was being returned by the okay statement. If that makes sense, that's the unwrap, right? It's a bit weird, but actually it makes a lot of sense. And of course, in production environments, you should always, most of the time, match so you can handle the error, right? So you can handle an error so your system does not panic out and your users are basically have bad news. So we have this unwrap. So let me quickly show you this, right? So let us do cargo run, right? So basically opening a new order book here, right? And if you think, why is this scrub using Windows to program? It's because then my videos can be processed in a much higher speed, because I have an insane GPU on my Razer Blade, and on my Mac I haven't. So yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes sacrifices need to be made, especially for you guys. So we're opening a new market, right? And everything is fine, right? We could do something like we return actually nothing, so we could not check it. But let's say we make a new trading pair here, right? We're gonna say the eat pair. Actually, we don't need to. Yeah, we do. We're gonna say the eat pair. We're going to say it's a new trading pair. It's going to be ETH, right? ETH to USD. But we don't add this pair to our order book. So we're not opening a market for it. So if we then say, yo, place a limit order for the ETH pair, right? And I'm going to cargo run this, boom. Then we have a panic, right? The thread main panicked, blah, 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 unwrap value, yada, yada, yada. And then we see the order book for the given trading pair ETH USD does not exist. It is what it is. All right, so that's cool. So it's all working fine. Maybe we should add more logging to this thing if we want to place a market limit order. We could say here something like print line. We could say, or I think the order book needs to do that, to be honest, right? I don't think we should. Or maybe we do. Placed limit order at price level, and then we could do this. Or actually, why don't we do this, right? Placed limit order, boom, and then debug this whole thing out and say the order. I think we have a format, a debug thingy for it. Oh yeah, okay, again, right? So the problem is we can, again, we could clone this here, but that could give us some issues, but it is what it is, right? We cannot even clone because we don't derive clone. That's a good question. I will explain this in the next video. I will explain this as we go further, because otherwise it will take too much time. Why this could cause an issue if we clone this here. So, but we're going to say very simple. Let's say price. So we're going to say placed limit order at price level. Boom. Let's see if this works. Of course, we're going to use the pair and not the ETH pair anymore. Cargo run. Yeah, so placed limit order at price level 10, and that's because our price is basically truncated, right? It's 10,000. It's a float, but it's not. No worries, we are gonna fix all these little issues as far as we go. So I think this is gonna be a good episode for now. We have our matching engine. We did some file restructures and all that good stuff. We can place limit orders, and I think in the next episode we are going to fill the orders, right? We're going to place a market order, and then we are going to fill that market orders with all the limit orders in our books. That's what we're gonna do. Yes. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Jump into the Discord, and I'm looking forward to see you in one of my live streams or in the next video. Cheers.